So the question is, what role do I see IGA having in helping consumers adopt healthier diets and lifestyles? And this is actually a tricky question for a retailer. If you're a traditional grocer, right, we sell a range of products that fit every lifestyle, every demographic, every age group in the communities that house an IGA. And IGA being a collection of independent retailers means that we are in every potential neighborhood you can imagine, from dense urban neighborhoods to suburbia to intensely rural neighborhoods as well. And in sort of every demographic, from high-end, very affluent neighborhoods where the produce that we sell are 100% organic, and we sell a lot of seafood and high-end marinated salads, and a very convenience-minded experience, all the way down to stores serving some of the most poor neighborhoods in every country in the world, from South Africa to the most rural parts of the United States. And so when you represent your community as a retailer, you have an obligation to serve them. And the diet and nutrition needs of those communities can be served by the products in our store. But in reality, we also sell a lot of products, a lot of processed products, high carbohydrate products, high calorie products. And it's not the retailer's job to make a decision on behalf of their shoppers about what they should and should not buy. And the minute a retailer goes down that path, it gets quite dangerous, because you run the risk of alienating the very audience that you serve. Should we be making a judgment that shouldn't have mac and cheese in your basket, or you shouldn't have a collection of high-calorie cookies? How can the retailer make that choice? And in fact, our job as a retailer is curation. Our stores aren't infinite size. Selection is infinite, essentially, in the world today. And so our job is to select from amongst all the things that we could provide for our shoppers, the things that they're most likely to buy. Where our role becomes clearer, where our retailer's role becomes much more crisp, is when we shift from trying to curate an assortment based on our needs, and we shift our strategy around service. So if in fact our shoppers are asking questions about their weekly shopping needs, how can they be smarter about the choices they make? What's the missing information that they need in order to make more informed choices on behalf of health and wellness for their family? And when we shift our role from just merchandising curation to one of a more overt education role, that becomes very healthy, because then we're able to deliver a set of tools to the shopper so that they can, on their own pace, make smarter choices. Look, you can't take someone who's been used to eating a traditional diet, one that may be high in carbohydrates, may have a lot of fried foods. You can't take them and move them all to a paleo diet immediately and expect that to work. And in fact, I think the science says that in general doesn't work, that when people need to lose weight or they need to make a healthier choices in their life, it's a very hard and a long-term journey. But what we can do is make them smarter about the choices. And if they can select between two choices inside the store, one of which has better health characteristics, it's lower sodium, it's lower carbs, whatever their objective is, if we can help them make that smarter choice, a SKU and a UPC at a time, well, you can change the world. Because what we're doing is de-risking change. By informing them, you get pretty much the same taste profile out of this new choice, and it's something your kids will eat and your family will enjoy if you switch from regular rice to cauliflower rice. While all of a sudden you've added health benefits without changing your lifestyle dramatically, and if you do it one product at a time, you can begin to ease people into smarter and safer choices for their family than maybe they were making before. So when I think about what's IGA role is, well, we got to serve our communities. We have to have respect for our shoppers. We can't curate our assortment to try to force them into choices that they don't want or don't understand, but we can be great partners. Being a great partner means information, delivering information in a way that allows them to make smarter choices. If we do that, they'll be more loyal to us, they'll be happier about the choices they make for their family, and ultimately we'll have happier and healthier communities. Okay, next question. I'm relatively new as the CEO. I haven't even been on this job a year yet. And the Consumer Goods Forum. So, my impressions of it is that it is a great community. There's a lot of industry associations, and I've worked in a lot of industries, retail industries, other than just grocery. I've been in consumer electronics and appliances and housing products, a lot of durable goods. I've worked for agencies that serve a lot of these different kind of businesses. So I've been to a lot of these trade shows. I've been involved in a lot of industry associations that have very, very different mandates. What I love about the Consumer Goods Forum is the collection of very smart people coming together to try to solve big problems that are far more strategic and longer range than many industry associations will tackle. And that's really encouraging because the game that we're in, feeding families worldwide, well, that's a long-term, both for-profit and altruistic objective, right? We're feeding the world. And retailers and manufacturers coming together in a forum in which we can talk about global issues like population change and the technology behind how we create more sustainable products, and even the issues on how do we build packaging that allows the product to get where it needs to be so it can feed families, but not make the world a less safe place. These are big issues, longer-term strategic issues. And what I love about Consumer Goods Forum is it organizes content in a way that allows us to have those dialogues in a very safe but open way, allows us to walk away and having learned about what the challenges are for manufacturing and retailer combined, but also allows us to put action plans against it for what we're going to do differently. And I just couldn't be more pleased to be not only a member of the organization, but I look forward to being a part of the board of directors. IGA has been a member of the Consumer Goods Forum for a number of years. Both with Mark Botanic and then the leadership team where we provide resources like our health and wellness resources to consumer goods, we're very proud of that relationship. As a member of the board, my first objective is to learn. I want to understand what the objectives are of the overall organization. I want to know what's the top areas of focus. And I look forward to being able to provide some of my skills that may be different from a lot of the other members because I don't necessarily have a full grocery background. I come from industries in housing and consumer electronics, in which the cadence of change in those industries may be very different than grocery. But there may be some issues like sustainable forestry, for example, that may be very much aligned with the objective of CGF. So I'm looking forward to being on the board and to being a contributing member. And also, I'm looking forward to learning what the objectives are so that IGA can provide increasingly more support. Now for IGA, I think IGA is a tricky brand to understand. While we've been an active member of CGF for a number of years, we're unique. We are a truly global retailer with stores from South Africa to Australia to Russia to the United States and in developed nations as well as developing nations. And so we're unique in the sense that we're a pure grocery store. We're not a mass merchant. And where we are involved with entrepreneurs from all of those locations that bring a very unique and very, very customized way to supply the grocery and the food needs in their communities, but do it all under a common brand. And in that way, I think our uniqueness and Consumer Goods Forum's objectives can come together in a way that I think can be very powerful. Because we're bringing up the knowledge and the insights and the reality of these local communities and what you can do in the US or what you can do in Australia and in a developed city and what you can do in South Africa in a township. Those may be radically different. Clearly, whatever changes we make in our world, responsible packaging or smarter technology and the way that we develop more sustainable crops, all of it has to be applicable, practical, when it delivers down into a retail store. And I'm hoping that IGA can be an increasingly better partner about bringing in the reality of how do we make changes globally in the midst of a highly strategic collection of some of the smartest CEOs and leaders in the industry.